Kyrie, you guys had 21 forced turnovers tonight. Your defensive effort, just the whole team tonight.
We were good.
Really good tonight.
Oh shoot, man! Being out there a few times, it felt like we had some breakdowns. But I'm glad that the stats reflect kind of how hard we were playing. And one of the toughest games to win is coming off a long road trip. So we definitely answered that call tonight. Proud of the guys, and we really battled tonight. They were coming off a back-to-back. So we kind of knew that they would eventually, run into some gas problems or some depth problems. They ran into some foul trouble as well. DeAndre Hunter was out of the game. So it was a big stretch in the game where we had to make our run, make our push, and I'm grateful we did that.
Kyrie, we know how last season ended. You even told me last month, you guys know what it feels like to fail. With that feeling in mind, how does it feel to clinch a playoff spot?
Shoot, man, I got a meme in my photos. You know how us professional athletes love memes that the media puts out. I think ESPN gave us a D, like a grade D for the trade of me coming here. So I think us clinching the playoff spot and putting ourselves in great position definitely answers some of those questions that were asked last season and some of the naysayers and all that stuff. It's a great moment to again answer those questions and succeed in clinching the playoff spot.
Redeeming feeling at all with it or not really?
I mean, life is about redemption, man, especially in sports where anybody could say anything and, something could happen the next day or next 2 weeks or next few months that leads you to succeeding at a very high level or failing at a high level. I mean, just comes with it. So it's always, about redemption. Every day you wake up and just try to strive to be better. So feels good.
Obviously kind of a bigger goal of getting into the top six and one of the guaranteed playoff spots. There's so many scenarios there. Does it simplify it just to know winning's really the only thing that matters and you can't really worry about how all that's going to shake out?
Yeah, that's why we're in the business, to win.
What was it like? I mean, Luka picks up the quick two fouls. And to have yourself and D. Jones and PJ and those guys all kind of chip in and get hold the fort down and so forth.
Yeah.
How much does that help a team's confidence, especially a team that's already playing pretty well?
Oh, man, I mean, PJ started off the game really well, and not every game is going to start off that way, but when it's needed, I think we all have to kind of galvanize around each other and just be ready for any scenario. We start off the game and shots are going in or shots are not going in. We're going to have to rely on each other, especially in the defensive end. And then offensively, I feel like, we'll take care of it. Just we got to get great shots. Once we started getting into the paint and started making some easy ones for each other or creating easier opportunities for each other, I felt like we created that separation. So the start of the game, we didn't start the way we wanted to. I think collectively as a group, we had some guys that filled in, 2 points there, 4 points there. But once we got it going collectively as a group, then we were hard to stop.
What have you seen from PJ? He had that tough stretch in March, with the shot. Talked tonight about getting in the gym, working on his footwork. Obviously it feels good to have a night like he had tonight. What have you seen with him working through that and getting back in a flow?
It feels good to see him continue to put in that work. I mean, this is what, you sign up for basketball for when you want to become a professional, is to continue to get better. And he's on a better team now. No disrespect to Charlotte Hornets, but just, he's on a better team where the shots matter, and we need him to make those shots, and we have the confidence in him. And when he's not making them, that's not the time to give him anything less than encouragement. We need to continue to feed him that confidence. And when he's playing well in the defensive end, I think that feeds his offensive capabilities. And when he's getting wide open looks and starts off the game with it and he makes his first, that makes a big difference. But now we just get into the next phase of all our maturity, right? Where if we're not making shots, we just continue to fire away. And, some people may not like that statement, but we got to continue to fire away on the open looks and, trust that our work will showcase at the right time.
Kyrie, kind of going off of your intro song as you were walking in, singing Boss Man D-Lo. How much is music a part of your pregame ritual or just your life in general to help you kind of...
I mean, music influences humanity a deep way, so it influences me too. I love every genre of music and, listen to Sam Cooke before the game and, Boss Man D-Lo's, ringing in my head right now, as well as he's taking over this younger generation. But, it gets me going, it gets our team going. And I think because we have such an international team and such a diverse team, one day we're listening to Serbian music and the next day we're listening to Bossman D-Lo. It's just everything on the spectrum is pretty cool. So that's the luxury of being on this team.
How much is
Serbian song?
My favorite Serbian song, the one where we tip the singers hundreds of dollars. If you know, you know.
What did you say?
That wasn't. Don't look too deep in that. That's for Luka. That's for Luka, man. Yeah. Oh man, what you say? Go ahead.
What did you see out of rookie and not just his?
What a name too. What a name, man. Oh man, he was challenging me, and I'm really appreciative of that. Just a young point guard coming into the league and really being able to establish himself and showcase his talent, man. That's what it's about. He got the opportunity. He took full advantage of it. He played well, and hopefully he keeps it going towards the end of the season. So I want to see guys like that do well. Any young player that comes in and challenges me gets my respect. So just grateful that we can see this next generation taking that competitive edge to a new level, and no fear out there. It's competition.
How much defensively is effort contagious? Does it build on each other? I mean, I guess we've seen situations where there is not as much effort, and then for an individual player, why would you give effort if nobody else around you is? Is that true in the inverse, where you feel if you see someone really trying, really putting in effort out?
What are you getting at?
Do what?
What are you getting at right now? What are you talking about? Just if you can simplify that question, that was a lot. But you're talking about when one guy's playing defense?
And you mentioned PJ and you mentioned Charlotte and you mentioned the responsibilities of being on a better team.
Yeah.
Trying. Is that something where you can't let your teammates down because you see how
Okay. Yeah, for sure. That's a internal thing, and it's also a camaraderie thing. It's a chemistry aspect. It's a trust aspect, and it's also, most importantly, it's an attitude and effort. Once you have those controllables figured out, then you can start talking about body positioning, and then also just natural talents and gifts. Just guys having longer wingspans and being defensive-minded players since they were young, or playing different roles. You just hope when guys come on a team that they're able to assimilate a little bit easier, and they don't have kind of those rough patches where they're trying to overthink the game. It's basketball at the end of the day. We have coaches that study the game for hours. We have players on our team that study the game for hours. We have upper management that looks for talent out there for us. So once they put the group together, then it's on us as leaders and as teammates to be there for one another and teach the game. That's an aspect that we don't talk about as peers, is how well guys teach the game. And you can be very good at defense and teach it to somebody, or very good at offense. So it's just picking your spots and giving that effort that's necessary.
Kyrie, after the game, I saw you embrace Dirk, say what's up to him.
Yeah, shout out to the legend, man, the statue.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all's friendship. You've been here long enough where you kind of understand what Dirk means. What would you say that Dirk means to the Dallas Mavericks from what you understand?
Oh, man. Shoot. I can tell you what he means to the broader basketball culture, but I think for Dallas in general, he created a culture of championship winning and MVP-like performances, a lot of game winners, playing with a lot of the legends in the league. If you look at the names that are on the floor, you see a lot of legendary names that have come through Dallas. And help build this franchise to be where it is today. Although it's only one championship, a lot of franchises can't say the same, that they've won a championship. So that means something. And in the basketball cultural world and in sports world, and just the respect that I have for him as a peer and as a little brother, right? So I look at Dirk as someone I could always go to if I need some resources or advice. And just hearing about the quality of human being he is and how much he influenced Luka and other guys that have come in through here, it's nothing but positive things. So he had his ups and downs, just like every great pro. Won a lot of games, lost some games, but the respect and the love that I have for him is just unconditional. He set the standard here, and he's built a large legacy that other guys want to follow.